Good morning, everybody. I get started now. I'd like to welcome you to this workshop on AI and cybersecurity, offensive capabilities, impacts, and response strategies. My name is Fritz, and I'm very much looking forward. I really appreciate you take time of your busy schedules for today's workshop. Also, my apologies to all people who are working on Europe's papers, who have a deadline in 4 to 5 hours. Again, we didn't know this in advance of time, but we're very much looking forward to this very exciting and timely workshop. Just as a few words of context, this is part of the ELSA General Assembly. ELSA is one of the EU-funded European lighthouses on safe and secure AI that I'm actually coordinating and leading. We have been working over the past 3 years to build a European network of excellence based on, as an initiative of the ELSA Society. We have been conducting research, advancing methodologies, but with a strong focus on needs in industry and brought this to bear in terms of papers, but also benchmarks, challenges, and workshops. So also this event today is supported in part by the European Commission. We're grateful for their support as well as for the support of the ELSA Society. I keep my introduction very short. I think we are pretty clear that AI is having a very profound impact on cybersecurity and therefore also on society at large. I think there have been always this maybe brittle balance between attackers and defenders, and now we're seeing a lot of impact of the developing technologies in AI that can boost attackers' capabilities, but also potentially boost defenders' capabilities. And how this balance will unfold is, I think, largely unclear at this point. This whole development, I think, cooked up a lot with the release of the Mythos model by Anthropic, but I think for all people who have been working in this field for a longer time, the general trajectory has been clear and is also matching, and to some extent, unfortunately, many of the forecasts that have been made, how technology is evolving and how it will have a strong impact on this particular field. And we also have contributing to this forecasting. I think it will become a more important activity over time. So the scope of the workshop, it's kind of designed to hopefully bring different stakeholders together from industry, academia, as well as policymakers and regulators to kind of carve out a more complete picture, hopefully, from this partially developing area. And also maybe cutting through a bit through the hype that we see right now and the general attention that is brought to this area, because we still have many areas where this is our knowledge is developing. For example, how do we actually realistically assess these offensive capabilities of AI models, and also how to measure the overall impact then also on society. I think this is another important part, that we not only want to measure but also hopefully anticipate impact into the future, because with this very rapid development, I think a purely reactive strategy might be very challenging over time. And obviously this should lead us to strategies how to respond to this grand challenge, how to keep security, ideally make our systems more secure. And I think it also brings about the questions, how do we deal with this in a technology-wise, but also as a society as a whole, as the response strategies are not fully clear yet, and also might incur significant cost or might push us even more into buying into AI technologies to even counter the emerging threats. I think some aspects of the workshop hopefully also touch upon ethical questions. How do we act in this space right now? How to work and act and do research responsibly. So I think there's also an area which is evolving, and again, how to release vulnerabilities in a responsible way, how to basically have responsible pipelines to disclose information, and also bring up a community that really understands this space. So what mandate do we have to perform offensive research, which will be key to developing strong defense strategies. So that's maybe a larger goal that we hope to approach during the workshop. What is our plan? What is the right level of urgency that we need right now? And maybe also think about what call of actions. Are we on track, basically? Are we taking the right steps, or how do we have to accelerate to be able to respond to this emerging and right now existing challenge. With that, I'm already wrapping up my short introduction. I'm really looking forward. We have a really exciting lineup of distinguished speakers throughout the day. I ask you to hopefully keep roughly your time for the presentation, so we also have an interactive element with a Q&A, and obviously for all people on site we have more time to discuss during the breaks, but I hope we also can have good discussion following directly after the talks. With that, I'm really looking forward to the first presentation. I hand it over to Batista. Unfortunately, Batista cannot join us today in person on short notice, but again, he will be presenting online, but the rest of the talk will be in-person presentation. So I wish you all a very exciting and stimulating event that hopefully take away new ideas and we all come to a good conclusion how to respond to this big challenge. Thank you.